All right, the Audible is on the air on this Friday, an early morning start for the Audible. If you're watching us on Periscope, you can go ahead and send your questions in, hashtag the Audible via Twitter. We'll go ahead and answer your questions. You can also watch us on a rebroadcast on the Miami Dolphins Facebook page beginning tomorrow, and you can see us on MiamiDolphins.com. Joining me right now, the Senior Director of Youth Programs for the Miami Dolphins and former linebacker Twan Russell. How you doing, Twan?
Anytime I can be on with a linebacker, I'm all right.
Yeah, you don't get those soft offensive guys, man.
No.
You want to be with the defensive guys. Know a little bit about knuckling it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of? We'll talk about what you're doing within the community with your youth programs and everything that's going on there. But first of all, you're a devout Dolphin guy. You grew up down here in South Florida, went to St. Thomas Aquinas, University of Miami. You see this football team making a turnaround. What do you see out of this football team right now in the organization?
I love it. I mean, I love seeing what the Dolphins are doing. I love to see what Coach Gaze is doing. I love to see the fact that, he's what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And, when he came in, so many people said what we should expect. And now we're seeing what he's capable of doing. And, the thing that I love the most is that he's direct.
Yeah.
Like he walks in front of that camera. He says, "Hey guys, this is what we're going to do." And he goes out and does it. And he holds the team accountable. He holds the players accountable. And I think he's the guy that takes it to the next level. And I love to see everyone working together.
Yep.
And I'm just proud of the organization. I mean, to go on this running streak, to see this team compete. I mean, 2 weeks ago having a tough loss.
Yep.
People jumping ship saying, hey, now we're back to the old Dolphins. And to see them turning it around and with all the injuries that they had last week and still fight through and win that game, that's the kind of Dolphin team that we want.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, kind of trying to come back from Baltimore in a game where just nothing worked for you.
Yeah.
Offensive, defensively, special teams, they just beat up on you. To be able to bounce back and play the way they did last week in a game. And look, Arizona, the record's not the greatest record, but I tell you, they're loaded with football players in that team. That team had a lot of talent on it. And to be able to go ahead and match up against them and get going the right direction really says a lot about the intestinal fortitude of those players as well as that entire coaching staff.
I mean, what about all those linebackers that they had to play? Guys that haven't, all the special teams
Yep.
guys. I think it was Hull and the other two guys that end up starting the game and having to play special teams the whole time and holding it down. And I think one of them even got a pick. That was super exciting. I mean, just to see this team fight, to see this team compete, I think that's what everybody's been waiting for, and that's what everybody wants. And the defense, I mean, to go up against one of the more talented wide receiver corps in the National Football League and see that defensive backfield, stand up and prevent them from scoring the touchdowns. And that was exciting for me.
We learned earlier in this week that you were going to be on the Audible here on Friday.
Uh-oh.
And so up jumped Ticketmaster to be a sponsor for us here for the program. They said, if Twan's going to be part of the show, we want to be part of the show. So Ticketmaster's jumped on board and joined us as a sponsor here. So it's great to have Ticketmaster with us here on the Audible. And they've been with us all week, but they've been here just for you, Twan. That's the kind of weight you pull around here, man.
Yeah, they're going to be sending me some tickets, too, to the next concert. Or I'm waiting for my tickets.
They'll send you tickets, and they'll send you an invoice right after that, and you'll be ready to go. You can go see whoever you want to see. Hey, let's go ahead and get some questions here, and then we'll get on with what's going on with you in the youth programs. At Tool, how is Matt Moore doing, and what should we expect from him tomorrow night? Matt Moore's doing great. Just had a baby on Monday, had a son on Monday. Found out Sunday that he's going to be the starter for the Dolphins on this week, and Monday has a baby boy, and now he's going to have to try to figure out how to be the starting quarterback. But I think the good thing about Matt, he's been in this program, he's been in the league for a long time. I think he started 25 games in this league, so he's got experience behind him. He understands what this offense is about, and I'm sure he and Coach Gaze this week have put together a lot of time in trying to put together the game plan that's best going to fit Matt Moore as he goes out there. And I would assume that game plan, Twan, includes a lot of Jai running the football, especially early in this game.
Absolutely. I think, the Dolphin team is still seeing the dividends of, Jai's previous games of being successful. I know the last couple of weeks he has not, had that, 200-yard game, but he's still a threat. And I think the offensive line is holding us back just a little bit because of all the injuries. But I think when you look at Moore, what he's going to bring to the table, he's a savvy veteran.
Yep.
He has the confidence of his players. They're not going to put him in a situation where he has to win the game by himself. Now you're going to see other teammates step up. I've been in those situations where the backup comes in. All of a sudden you feel like, hey, I got to do more. And if he can just sit back there and make the throws he needs to make, I think it's going to work out well. Matt's he's a true vet.
Yeah.
I mean, he has never taken his his mind off the game of football. He studies just like he's going to play every week. And you saw that last week. I mean, he came in, he made some great throws. They ran the ball early, but he made some nice throws at the end. The world was coming in his face. He was able to launch that ball deep and complete it for a nice little gain. I think it was a little wheel route on the outside. And I mean, the guy plays football. Yeah. And in this game, as long as you have a football player behind the helm, you got a chance to win. And I'm excited for what he's going to do now. He has a whole week of learning, and Coach Gaze is really good about calling things specific to the quarterback that's going to be back there. So yes, we're going to have a lot of running with Jay Ajayi, and then we're going to let Moore do the things that he does best.
Yeah, here's I get a question about this guy every single show. This one's from @Earthquake91. What's the plan for Dion Jordan next year? You can go ahead and take over because I've kind of said my say on Dion Jordan.
I think. Hey, we don't know. I mean, when Coach, I'm gonna tell you, and this might just be passing the buck. When Coach Gaze feels like he's ready, then I'm gonna say I'm good because not every decision, but almost every decision Coach Gaze has made has been very, well thought out. There's a plan behind it, and there's a reason why he's not on the field. I don't know if it's because of injury. I don't know if they just don't feel he's ready. I have no idea. But when Coach Gaze says he's ready, I'm good. But at the end of the day, the guy's been out of football
long time.
I mean, you just don't. I mean, mentally, when you step away from football, I remember Carter came back when I think in 2002.
Chris Carter.
He retired from football.
Yeah.
He went on HBO. He was doing the HBO sports. Then he came back and he tried to come back and play. He lost it mentally. His kidneys shut down, and he almost died on the football field. So, I mean, you just can't throw a player out there and expect he's going to be dominating. I think they're taking their time, and deservingly so. And when they think he's ready, he'll go out and play.
Yeah, that's my thing with him. I don't see a guy right now that's in football shape.
Yeah.
He's still limping around. That knee's still giving him problems. And he hasn't played in 2 years, almost 3 years. And now you're talking about another offseason because now this week they put him on he's back on the reserve, so he can't play at all this year. And so what's he going to be next year? Another year away from playing football. I just wonder what he's going to be like. And I don't hold a lot of stock in what's going to happen there. You're watching the Audible here, presented by Ticketmaster. If you're watching us on Periscope, you can send your questions in via Twitter. Just hashtag the Audible. You can watch us on a rebroadcast beginning tomorrow on the Miami Dolphins Facebook page, and you can watch us on MiamiDolphins.com. Getting ready to jump on the bus here in about 2 hours or so, and head to New York, where it's a little chilly, could be snowy, could be rainy.
I didn't see a jacket in your hand.
It's going to be nasty.
I didn't see a jacket.
I got a jacket in my car and in my bag. I just don't wear it here. This is the warmest I've been in this room. I got a long sleeve shirt on for the first time.
You look good though,
in this room. Well, you gotta represent. You know what I mean?
You look good.
All right. Devin Gillum, should Xavier Howard play if he isn't 100%? If it's a recurring injury to his knee, if he's not 100%, I say no.
Yeah,
and I think these guys. I think really for the last 2 or 3 weeks we've thought, hey, maybe he's ready to play. But I think you can kind of see this team's mindset a little bit, and when you look at a guy like Mike Pouncey, Mike Pouncey probably is on the verge of playing again. Should he play? Shouldn't he play? Mike wants to play, and this week Adam Gase says, no, we're going to put you on IR. We're going to set you down because we don't want to harm your career. We don't want 3 games to define what the rest of your career is going to be like with this injury. And so I think that'll probably be the same. I'm not saying they're going to put Howard on injured reserve, but what I'm saying is I think I think they're being cautious with these guys, especially the young guys that have a long-term gain for them. They don't want to. They're not going to worry about right now and take away some of the long-term gain that they get. So I think Howard's kind of in that frame of mind.
I mean, when you look at what they're doing with the players as a whole, they have a long-term plan. I can't remember the last time I seen a general manager have a long-term plan and yes, you have to be immediate. You want to win the day. But, a guy like Pouncey, that guy has the potential to be great.
Yep.
And when I say potential, he showed that he can do it.
That, yes.
It's just the injuries here in the last couple of years that are beating him up. But you give me a healthy Pouncey, he's arguably one of the best centers in the National Football League.
I don't think there's any question about that.
And when you look at it from that standpoint, why put him on the field? Why jeopardize his career when he can help us still for 5 or 6 more years?
He's already been shut down twice this year with the hip injury and for extended periods of time. And So I think the thought of getting him back in here and look, maybe short time, maybe you win a couple games, maybe you do get to the playoffs, but you risk him hurting that hip again, and that could could minimize his career going forward. And I think it's the right move to make. At Pretty Fly Guy, how's Matt Moore looked in practice this week? He's looked the same as he's looked every other week that he's been here. Twitter, any news on Tunsil Albert? Are they getting healthier while playing? Yeah, I think they're getting healthier. I think they're just getting back used to playing again. And you know what? More importantly for both of those guys, Albert getting used to playing with a little brace on his wrist, and that's not easy. Tunsil got a little thing on his shoulder that from the injury he had. So both of them, I think every game, every snap they play with those kind of like devices on them, I think the better you get because you just get more accustomed to have to play that way.
And you're going to see those big guys playing with their feet a little bit more. They're not going to be able to use their hands and, the quote-unquote grab a little bit inside. So you're going to see them change their game a little bit so that they can, just be a little bit more stout, but not with the hands, more so with the legs.
Yeah, and they're important this week because I think, the one thing they can do well, the issue they have sometimes is pass rush with their hands and grabbing and doing different things and Tunsil getting up there. But they can definitely run block, and especially in a game like this where the weather could be inclement, and you're going to have to try to run the football, and you want to run the football. Having those two guys in there and healthy, having played 2 weeks after their injuries, I think is a good thing.
We're going to see a lot of this right here.
Yes, absolutely, and I would love to see a lot of it. I would love to see a lot of him. At King Edlin, he comes in all the time. What's the biggest disadvantage of having a short week and playing a Saturday game? We'll both play a Saturday game. But if my memory serves me correct, the Jets were in L.A. last week. They had to travel all the way back from the West Coast to come back to New York and then get ready for a short week. So it's probably more of a disadvantage to them, I would say, than the Dolphins.
Actually, short weeks for me, I always liked them because it made me hyper focused. Like I can shut out the world. I had an excuse to shut out the world, and I can focus just on football. So it doesn't.
I always liked the short week because it meant you got extra days off.
Yeah, that too.
So they'll play Saturday, they'll have Sunday off, probably have Monday off, and then or work Monday, come back and have Tuesday off, and then go back at it again. So I think it's a good thing. At Scooby Fins Up, is that Twan? Wow, looking good, man. Aging well. How about that one?
I got a good wife.
Looking good and then takes a shot at you, aging well.
That's all right. I got a good wife. She got me on the healthy stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would that be?
She got vitamins. I don't know if I can say the name of it, but she had me on these vitamins that I have to take every night. And then my wife, she's a health nut. Like, she cooks every night. We don't eat out. She cooks every night. Like,
you're not like a vegan or anything?
No. Well, I don't eat beef.
No, that's fine. I don't eat much beef.
Yeah, but I eat chicken. I eat lots of fish.
Yeah.
A big fish diet. So.
All right.
She likes me, so that's a good thing. She's keeping me around.
At least up until now. Things change, Especially with you. You're a volatile guy, man. You change like the wind, man. Wind blows one way and all of a sudden, look out for Twan.
Yeah.
At CKB28, who's been the team's MVP this season? That's a tough one. You look at Jay. You got to count Jay as a guy that really kind of helped turn the fortunes of this team around. I would, you got to throw Cam Wake in there, no? As a guy that you consider that.
And some people say
Ryan. Sue.
Some people even like Ryan up to this point.
Yeah, Ryan, absolutely, yeah. So I think there's a number of guys out there that you can see, we'll figure it out over these last few weeks of the season. Hey, you're watching the Audible. If you're watching on Periscope, you can send in your questions. Just hashtag the Audible. We'll get to them. Early show today because we're getting ready to head up to New York here in a couple hours and got to jump on the plane. You can also watch us on a rebroadcast on the Miami Dolphins Facebook page beginning tomorrow and on MiamiDolphins.com. El Chapo Jr., one of my favorite callers. He always comes out of the tunnel and comes out and throws a question at us.
Old Chapo.
With Ajayi 44 yards away from 1,000 and Landry 77 yards away from 1,000 receiving yards. Do both of them get it in New York? I think there's a pretty good opportunity to that. I think Jay gets it. I don't think there's any question Jay gets his 44 yards and gets to 1,000. Landry 77 yards, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little more difficult, but I think he's going to be right around there.
Yeah, I definitely think Jay's going to get his. Jay's going to get 20 carries, 20 plus carries. We have to. It's going to be bad weather, and I think Gaze loves. I don't want to give up the game plan, but my thoughts is they're gonna do some different things with Matt Moore that they haven't done with Ryan. I think there's going to be a little bit more play action. I think there's going to be some situations that they're going to put him in a place where everything is going to come off the run.
Yeah.
And I think Jay gets stronger as the season gets going.
As the game gets third and fourth quarter. I mean, he's if you just continue to give him the ball in the third and fourth quarters, that's when you really see.
He comes out of halftime different. That guy comes out with a different mindset, and I don't know if the other team's tired and our weight guys are doing such a great job of conditioning, but this team has come out of the half making great adjustments and coming out with a freshness. I mean, they really played well coming out of the second half.
No doubt. Let me see Twitter. Do you believe we have one of the best coaches in the league? Talking about Adam Gase. Look, I think everybody around here is very, very happy with Adam. I think everyone's bought into what he's done, especially the players on the football team have bought into him. And you got to feel right now, he's certainly one of the up and coming coaches in the league that certainly looks like he's got a bright future.
How in the world? I haven't even heard his name being mentioned as coach of the year.
I see it every now and then on some little things here and there.
I just don't understand a guy that comes in and has as much adversity as he's had, with all the injuries, and still be in the hunt and still fighting. I mean, I just haven't seen anyone mention it. And I wouldn't say we have the best coach. I say we have the best coaching staff. I mean, the staff that he put together is tremendous. I mean, I love the way those guys coach. I love the way it's almost like players are coaching players. Like they come in with a different mindset than I've seen in a while.
You know what? They to me, they seem more of a coaching staff that works with the players rather than works at the players.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Because they take input from the players. They take input and they get the input from the players and they use it. They don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. I think they're really interested in what these guys feel like they do best, what they can do, what situations they can put them in, and they want to hear that input from the players, and then they go ahead and they put it into action on the field. And if you're a player, you talk to a coach in the middle of the week, say, hey, I'd like to do this, and then you get in the game and the guy throws it in there. I think it brings a closeness together.
Well, you play harder when you feel like you have input in the game plan. When you feel like you go to the coach and he's bringing some value to you and it helps you to be better. Well, he's putting money in your pocket. Yep. So, I mean, players are going to play a little bit harder for the coaches. And it's been fun to watch the connection. I mean, even when you just watch the coaches talk to them, the coach talk to the player. I haven't seen that in football in a long time. Just the camaraderie and the communication. Yeah, they get on them, but it's a mutual respect on both sides. Yeah,
they get on them, but then they've got a way to come back and kind of bring guys back down to earth. At Zawa Chicken. You got that one?
Zawa Chicken.
Except there's no H in there. Zawa, ZAWACKIKEN.
Zawa Chicken.
That's it. We'll go with that. Which Devontae Parker will play this week? Hopefully Devontae Parker that's played the last 3 weeks. He's played well in the last 3 weeks, really come along. And you know what's amazing? When he plays well, it seems like the entire receiving corps plays well because he just adds so much to that group.
Well, there's three things about the offense I've noticed this year. Number one, obviously, when our offensive line is intact and everybody's playing, we do extremely well. When J.J.'s run the ball, he opens it up for the entire game plan. And when Parker is stretching the field and he's making those catches, he's such a threat. People are afraid of him. It's been a long time I've seen coverages roll into one player. Yeah. And what that does, it opens the field for, everyone else. Yeah. Like you got to pick your poison. Who you're going to cover. I mean, and I just thought in the last 3 weeks, that guy has done a great job elevating to get the ball, stretching out and going to he's made several catches across the middle, and he's still giving that deep threat.
The other thing he's done, he's shown a toughness that I think a lot of people didn't think he had. I mean, he's got dinged up a little bit, played through injuries and done those types of things. And
that's the guy at Louisville
which early in the season you didn't really see, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see that with him. Felipe Hernandez, DCR defense with a huge impact against the Jets. Well, look, this is an offensive line for the Jets that's in turmoil. Their center is out. Ryan Clady, their left tackle, is out. What's their center's name? Nick Mangold. So both Mangold and Clady are out, two of their best offensive linemen. I'm looking at that offensive line, and I'm seeing guys' names that I really don't recognize that well. So their offensive line is in trouble. Matt Forte has got a bad knee. He may not play. Their best running back, Bilal Powell will step in. But yeah, the defense had what the defense has to do, in my mind, the defense has to stop the running game and try to get ahead and then just put a big pass rush on the kid, Bryce Petty, that's playing at quarterback. So he's in too, the backup quarterback, the third string quarterback for all intents and purposes with his football team.
Now, this is Bryce's third start, right?
I believe it is.
So this is his third. I mean, he had his first win last week.
Yeah.
I mean, my feeling is that this, our defensive line is coming in this game hungry because they see a offensive line that's struggling. They see an offensive line that's having some challenges. And our defensive line has been doing a great job this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they attack them. And we were built to stop the run. At the beginning of the season, the number one thing that we wanted to do was stop the run and have that ability to go after the quarterback in third down. If we stop the run, Petty better chap his chin strap on because those guys are going to be coming at him on third down.
Anybody out there looking for games that are going to be up in New York, just go to Ticketmaster, see if you can get some tickets for the ball game up there. I don't know if they do tickets for the ball games, but why not just check out Ticketmaster anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Well, no matter what you're looking for for all your ticket needs. At SpaceCat69, does Rashad Jones get his contract extended? I don't know if he gets his contract extended because I think there's a couple guys out here that are going to be free agents that the Dolphins need to get in the fold. I think Kenny Stills is one of those guys. He's going to be a free agent. I'd like to see him re-signed. Andre Branch, who's done a great job since coming over from Jacksonville. This is his fifth year. He's got a lot of playing left, so I'd like to see them invest some money in him. Rashad, they just signed, 2 years ago or a year or so ago? So he's still in the middle of his contract. I think they could probably go another year with Rashad before they've got to deal with him. I got game New Jersey. Bo, did you like playing in New York? I love playing in New York. I especially like playing in New York when we played in New York. We played at Shea Stadium.
It depends on what time of the year it was. If it was in December and November, I wasn't a fan.
I'm not a big
but
fan.
We played them early.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an exciting place. New York fans, they make a lot of noise. They're they're ruckus. Every so often they may throw something at you. You can get into the spirit pretty quick. So they help you get into the spirit of the game. So it's always a fun place to play up there.
Twan, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you, Director of Youth Programs. What does youth programs entail? And are you as busy during the season as you are during the off season? Because I know the off season you got clinics, you've got you got 7-on-7 tournaments, you've got all kinds of stuff going on.
We've really gotten busy year round. It used to be during the off season we were super busy, and during the season we would slow down. But now we have our Dolphins Championship Series that we just finished up last 2 weeks, where we took all the youth football champions and they would compete to see who's the best youth football team in South Florida, and we just finished that up last week. This week we have our Dolphins Championship Series, our cheer competition. We're going to have 1,100 girls competing to see who's the best cheerleading squad, and that's going to happen this Sunday. And then in January 13th and 14th, and the 13th, we're going to have the Dave Brower All-Star Game. And that's where we're going to take the top 100 high school athletes in South Florida, and they're going to compete against one another. And it's Dade and Broward. Broward won last year, so Dade's pretty upset about that. So they're going to try to win that. And then the following day, we're going to do the same thing for the youth. Yeah. So we're going to have the same type of game. So now the youth football kids get to see what the high school kids did the day before, and they get to compete. So it's been a busy year. It's been awesome. I got a great team. You got Cassick and Jimmy, who's running this event this weekend. I got Troy Drayton, who runs all our youth football stuff, and Lusaka, who's been great. He runs all of our high school stuff. I mean, I got a great team of people, and we've been doing some cool things this year.
What kind of response are you getting from the kids and the people you associate with when it comes to how the Dolphins are playing?
When we are winning, our phone blows up all the time. I mean, we have, it's funny. We had a kid call the other day, and he just says, "Hey, can I speak to Jarvis Landry?" or "Can I speak to Ryan Tenney?" He kept calling as if every time he called, like somebody can pick up. But I mean, we people love it. I mean, they want more Dolphins. They want to absorb who we are, and the better we are on the football field, the busier we are in the community, because people say, "Hey, let's get these guys out to invest in our community, invest in our kids," and we have great guys. Our guys have been going out there and serving the community every single week, so it's been exciting.
Good. Twan, it's been a pleasure having you,
man. It's a quick time here.
Quick half hour, man. You come in, you go, no commercials. It's just like a snowball rolling down
awesome.
here. Once you push it over the edge, it doesn't stop until you hit the bottom. And we've hit the bottom right here on the Audible, presented by Ticketmaster. Thanks for joining us in the show. I want to thank Twan Russell for stopping by. We'll see you Monday. Hopefully it'll be another victory Monday for the Dolphins after they beat the New York Jets. Just kind of get through the weather, get things done. We'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.